Hello, hello, hello to all of my amazing Taurians. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with a very special reading on today, Taurus. Yes, we're going to be talking about Chiron or Chiron, however you want to pronounce it, but it is a minor planet. Chiron actually represents our desire to heal and make whole. It can indicate aspects of our lives where we have been wounded. Yes. That's everybody has been wounded. So if you happen to be a cross watcher on another, for another video, for another sign, and you want to kind of sort of understand why people may be the way that they are, maybe they're an over-giver or an over-nurturer, you know, it could lead back to some sort of wounding, maybe in their childhood. But again, Chiron actually indicates aspects of our lives through no fault of our own, you know, where you've been wounded. Sometimes it's ancestral, right? For you in particular, we're going to talk about that, Taurians, okay? Let's get into it. Most High God in the universe, please give me a special reading for my amazing Taurians as it relates to every area of their lives, specifically in areas of power and intellect, money and wealth, creativity and emotions, and spirituality, and where they need to take action. I am talking to my very logical, generous, and trustworthy, determined, understanding, kind, organized, patient, stable, responsible, devoted, practical, reliable, bulls. Yes. So, you know, currently we have 6 planets that are retrograde. I don't talk a lot about Chiron, but I wanted to talk about it because, one, it's currently retrograde. It's been retrograde since July, but it'll be retrograde until December 19th. I think it's going to be retrograde until December 19th of this year. But it's going to also help you understand kind of why you are the way that you are, and it'll help other people understand you a little bit more. You all are nurturers by default. It doesn't matter. You're a divine feminine energy by default, Taurus. Meaning that you all are nurturers, very magnetic. People are drawn to you. Does it mean that you have to give everybody attention that's drawn to you? Absolutely not, right? But Chiron, like I said, indicates aspects of our lives where through no fault of your own, you may have been wounded in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Where it could affect you in particular, Taurus, is with your security, right? Maybe you experienced an early lack of material security in your life. Maybe you were raised by a single parent. Maybe you all grew up, you know, what you would say maybe was poor. You didn't have this, you didn't have a lot of things. And so for you, your security may be in family and also maybe in money. There's actually no fault to that. Maybe you're just a very driven person because you don't want to grow, you don't want to live the life that you maybe have been raised in. You may have been raised in lack, right? And so you're going to, you know, develop your own grounding. You're an earth sign, like things that make you feel secure. If having nice things make you feel secure, unapologetically, just be unapologetically a Taurus. If being surrounded by, you know, like having long-term friendships that turn into family makes you feel secure, do that. If staying connected to family members make you feel secure, make you feel grounded, do that unapologetically, right? Here we have the 6 of Wands. We also have the Page of Pentacles. See somebody looking for new windows of opportunity when it comes to money. I'm looking at the Queen of Pentacles. Again, you're attracting money. Very down-to-earth people. I see you walking away from things that have burned you in the past, right? Maybe somebody was committed to not understanding who you are. That person could have been an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius somewhere in their chart. But nevertheless, I see you walking away from somebody just being committed to not understanding why you are the way that you are. I'm also seeing the 3 of Wands. I see as you walk away from things that, again, don't serve your highest purpose, things that, and fire. Okay, let's talk about fire for just a second before we get to this last card right here. We're talking about the 10 of Swords, right? Where you may have felt betrayed or stabbed in the back, or, you know, like it almost felt like it took the air out of you, right? You may have been burned. It may feel like it took the air out of you. So sometimes you need a fire up under you to get you to move. You're a bull, right? You're a fixed sign. You're a bull. Sometimes you overstay time in other people's universe when you know that it's not the right situation, right? Over nurturing, right? You got to be real with yourself to figure out, why did you over nurture a relationship where you kept constantly being burned? Were you being constantly overlooked on a job? Was a friend constantly showing you that they were jealous of you? Were people constantly burning you? Why did it take so long for you to leave a situation where you were constantly being burned, right? So instead of overstaying your time in somebody else's universe, use that same fire inside yourselves to see how this person is grounded. And they're expecting greater in their lives. They're on fire. This is you tapping into the fire in you. Some of you all may have Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius in your chart. So instead of being in relationships where you're constantly being burned, use that same flame inside of yourselves to ignite something in you to say, hey, I'm getting ready to take off. I'm really getting ready to take off. That's where the victory is going to be. So that fire was being used in the wrong way, you being burned by people, but it was actually serving as putting a fire up under that bull in you, okay? It's time to get motivated. Not just motivated, it's time for you to get driven. There's a difference between being motivated and being driven. It's time for you to be driven, like really go after what you want, Taurus. And so what that looks like in third dimension for some of you all is going to look like, gosh, I've been talked about. People ran smear campaigns. They've been lying on me. They've been spreading rumors and gossip and the whole 9 yards. That's okay. That's what karma's there for. You don't need to say any bad words about them whatsoever at all, Taurus. Don't say anything about them, right? You move on. Your ancestors are right there. And you start blazing a trail, that same fire. I don't have enough hands. Look, I'm trying to pick these cards up. They're shuffling all over the place. You use that same fire that people burned you to blaze a trail in your new chapter. You see? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with liking nice things, especially when they make you feel secure. If you feel like, okay, I want a nice home. These are just resources. All of that is just energy. I don't know why people trip off of somebody else having nice things. Like, that shouldn't be their problem. That you want a nice life, or that you want to be surrounded by things, that people and energy that make you feel secure. So of course, some of you all are going to feel like you're by yourselves for a while, but guess what? You're not. Your ancestors are right there. They've always been right there, trying to just say, hey, listen, we're going to hang in there with you. We're going to keep hanging in there with you. We want you to see some things. It may be taking you a minute to move. Some people stay in relationships 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of being burned until finally they use that same flame to ignite something in themselves to say, you know what, it's time, it's go time. I'm getting ready to take off. I see my business doing well. I see me being in happy, healthy, flourishing relationships where people just get me. They understand me. They're not trying to burn me. They're not trying to use things against me to hurt me. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, look at this. See, there is an advantage. There's pros and cons to every sign. For you all, people want to be connected to stability that you all offer, that you all bring into this world. But you, Taurus, have to recognize what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Being attracted to somebody who is fiery and somebody who seems to be different from you may seem like, oh, this is great. I'll match my energy with their energy, and together we can take over the world, until they burn you. And then you're heartbroken, right? Maybe that person seemed like their career was on fire, and they had the house, they had the this, they had the that, they had all the things that you felt like you wanted. So you wanted to connect with them until they burned you. Then it set something in you to say, guess what? I am a god. I can have every single thing that that person is having, and then some. All I have to do is speak it into existence. Yep. Getting to the heart of the matter. See how this heart is broken, but it's also mended. See these little lines right here, mending it? Yeah. Yep. You got to find your soul tribe. Yeah, your soul tribe. So I see a lot of you all leaving situations like that fire, that being burned enough times. For you bulls, you know, being a fixed sign, you're like, okay, I'm going to be loyal to this person. Maybe if I be nice to them, they're going to eventually, you know, accept my kind. That's not how it works. They're going to keep burning you, and it's going to be worse and worse and worse and worse until you leave. Until you leave, not them. They're not going to leave, because guess what? Eventually, they're going to say, hey, they must like it. I'm not doing anything wrong. They haven't left yet. Until you leave. And then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? I've been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. Now all of a sudden it affects them. So I see you all even sleeping better. Sleeping like a baby. Sleeping like a newborn. Why? Because you took your power back. Them burning you has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's nothing that you did anything wrong to them in particular. But the more and more you overstayed your time in their dysfunctional universe, they felt it was okay to burn you. You kept on over nurturing it. Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? Because you all are very patient. So what's going to happen now after being burned by so many people and feeling that pain and this healing, it should have taught you some lessons about you. One of the lessons that is teaching you about you is that you create your own security. You find your own soul tribe. First of all, you want to be in a posture of gratitude that you learned the lesson. Like, hey, burn me one time. Hey, it won't happen again. Right? So you want to lessen the amount of time that you overstay your time in other people's universe, whether it's a job that keeps burning you, whether it's a friendship that keeps burning you, a romantic relationship that keeps burning you, anything under that relationship. It shouldn't take all of that. Look at all this fire in your card. It shouldn't take all of this fire in your card for you to eventually move, right? So be in the posture of gratitude that you had the experience, but now it's time to move on, right? Some of y'all have been ruminating over this thing for years. Should have left the relationship a long time ago, but now that you know better, guess what you're going to do? Do better. All right. Kudos to you, Taurus. Let's see what this oracle card has to say. Let's see what this oracle card has to say. Yes, yes, yes. So that situation had to happen to start to teach you, hey, anything other people can have, I can have it too. I don't need to partner with somebody who, see, at first, all you have to do is sit down and just watch people. Like, let's see if their actions align with their words. Yeah, the way that they may have gotten it has been their way of getting it. But the way that you get it for your security and your grounding may be significant. It could be the polar opposite of the way that they got it. And that's what you want to focus on. Okay. This reads, I do not control my mind. I am an observer of my mind and my thoughts. Nice. I like this. And then on the other side of the card, it goes, when you are tempted to control your mind, stand back and realize the task is impossible to begin with. Even the most disciplined mind has a way of breaking out of its chains. Yep. Yes. Anything they have, you can have it too, Taurus. But again, don't get burned more. I mean, if you can help it, because the fire is very warm at first. So some people you're going to come across, Taurus, are going to be very warm and inviting. You can be like, wow, look at the lifestyle that they're living. They seem like they're just they have created this secure lifestyle that makes sense to me. Maybe I can go about it that way. You have your own style. Your style actually works for you when you stand in your power and recognize what you bring to this universe. And again, for you, Taurus, it's the fact that you are a very logical thinker, that you're very generous and trustworthy. You're determined, you're understanding, very kind, you're organized, you're very patient, right? You're stable, you're responsible, you're practical, you're reliable. These type of people that I'm talking about specifically in your reading, they are risk takers, right? And which can be very, very scary. That could threaten you feeling secure and feeling grounded, right? So you want to do what works best for you, Taurus, because that's how you're going to get to your wealth and your security, doing things the way that you're doing it, okay? That's what I have for you. Bye.